Good morning and welcome to the public hearing. It is now open. It is 8:31. My name is Ed Russell. I am the attorney for the Village of Fairport Professional Development Agency, and I have been designated by the agency to be the hearing officer to conduct the public hearing. The public hearing is being live streamed and is made accessible on the agency's website. We are here to hold a public hearing on 58 South Main Fairport LLC and Josephine Jane Hospitality LLC and or individuals, affiliates, subsidiaries, or entities to form or to be formed on its behalf for this project. The transcript of this hearing will be received and considered by the agency in determination of this project. Notice of this hearing appeared in the Democratic Chronicle on Tuesday, January 16, 2024. Now I'll give a brief description of the project. The proposed project consists of a approximate 20-acre parcel of land, a 0.20-acre parcel of land, being a portion of a 0.38-acre parcel of land located at 58 South Main Street, Village of Fairport, Town of Barrington, Monroe County, State of New York. The land will be improved with a 3,840 square foot existing long vacated historically designated bank building, the existing improvements, the construction of an approximate 800 square foot addition and installation of additional site improvements, collectively the new improvements, and together with the existing improvements will be known as the improvements, and the acquisition and installation therein and thereon of related fixtures, machinery, equipment, and other tangible personal property, collectively known as the equipment, and together with the land and improvements to be known as the facility. This proposed financial assistance contemplated by the agency includes New York State and local sales and use tax exemption benefits, mortgage recording tax exemption benefits, and real property tax abatement benefits in compliance with the agency's uniform tax exempt policy. Now, all those in attendance, if you wish to speak, need to sign in at the sign-in sheet. And once you are registered, you'll be given the opportunity to make a statement or comment on the project. Additionally, if you have a written statement or comment to submit for the record, you may leave it at this public hearing or submit it. Do you have it on can they submit it on the agency website?
No.
No, okay. So if you want to submit anything in writing, please deliver it to the agency at their address at 31 South Main Street, Fairport, New York, 14450. And the comment period will close on February the 12th at 4 p.m. There are no limitations on written statements or comments. All right, at this point, if anyone is interested in making a...
Do we want to note that the effective taxing jurisdiction?
Oh, yep. And notice not only was sent out to the Democratic Chronicle, but also the effective taxing jurisdictions were notified of the proposed public hearing and the benefits related thereto. If anyone is interested in making a statement or comment at this time, you can please raise your hand, state your name and address. Or if you're representing a company, please identify the company. And we request that statements or comments be limited to no longer than 5 minutes, but approximately 3 minutes is appropriate. And so then, if anyone would like to speak, the opportunities now will leave the floor open until everyone has had an opportunity to speak. Otherwise, we will close this public hearing within about 10 minutes.
I have a question first. Could you explain how this pilot program works? Where, as I'm real novice on this.
It's okay.
Where the money comes from,
Okay.
and then it, I assume, goes to this company that's listed. But is the word company Angelo Ignacci's company, or is it the company that's mentioned with the restaurant?
Yes, and I'm glad you asked the question because no money is flowing to those agencies, to those companies from us. How the property tax abatement works is that they've asked us to consider a custom pilot in order to help them redevelop this long vacant historically designated property. And currently as structured, their property taxes will remain flat for 5 years. So each taxing jurisdiction will continue to receive as much tax revenue as they currently receive for 5 years. Then in year 6, their taxes will go up by 20% of the increased assessed value, and then 20% each year thereafter, so that at year 10, they're at full value. So we are not abating existing taxes. No taxing jurisdictions will lose their current revenue stream, and they will enjoy the incremental assessment over the remaining 5 years. So that goes to the property owner, which is the 58 South Main LLC, which is owned 100% by Angelo and Gracia. And in turn, the beneficiary of that, if the lease is written correctly, is the tenant. So the tenant, which is a Josephine Jane Hospitality LLC, will be able to, the idea being to help them have some certainty about their operating costs as they undertake this project.
And the certainty is that they wouldn't have increased taxes for this 5-year period, and that they would have a guaranteed income flow from the P part of the pilot.
They don't have a guaranteed income flow. They know that how much they're going to be paying as they look to establish this restaurant and grow it and create jobs and draw tourists draw people from the region here to spend their money and generate tax dollars. Their only certainty will be what their tax payments would be through the lease.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then can I just talk without it's going on the record, or do I see?
Well, we are live
live.
streaming,
Oh.
just so you know, but our counsel here will tell us when we can't.
Right, yep.
That would be good. When I spoke at the public hearing with the planning board and historic preservation, and I asked Angelo to withdraw his application to subdivide because I did not want the Starbucks building between two buildings.
Right.
And he was very nice as we left at 10 o'clock or whatever. It was a long night. He followed us out and said, I need to talk to you. And his point was that he needed the income from Starbucks' 15-year lease that he had with them to help develop the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that's a great idea. But of course, I still wish Starbucks weren't coming into the village at all. So I was going to bring all that up today, but I don't think it's relevant.
Okay.
I mean, am I correct? It really isn't relevant?
We are looking at this as a separate project, right, because it's subdivided. None of the benefits will extend to the new parcel at all.
Right.
It is just, and what the developer is undertaking, it's his undertaking, and he's assuming the risk on that. So it's right. He's got the math behind that, how it'll work.
All right. I don't think then I need to go on the public record. Okay. I'm okay.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. The other thing I was going to mention, I should mention the record, it's a deviation from the fixed 5-year.
Oh, all right.
So,
And yes, Ed just wants to make a clarification with regard to the pilot.
Yeah, with regards to the public hearing and the project, there is a deviation. So the agency has what's called a uniform taxation policy, which sets forth the policy in which they grant the pilots. And in this case, this is a deviation because the pilot will have a term of 10 years, and of those 10 years, 5 years will be affixed for 5 years with incremental increases thereafter. So we just legally were required to make a notification if our pilot payments will deviate from our standard policy in this case, so, because it's a fixed payment schedule. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll just leave it open for another 2 minutes, just in case.
Is it not from school this weekend?
No. thank you for coming, Jean.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I didn't know, I hate to be always a naysayer, and I'm not always a naysayer.
No.
But I was part of the designation of the bank.
Mhm.
And, you know, my history with that bank goes back to when Doug was in Vietnam and they refused to give me an account because I was a single woman with a husband not here. So that was in 1964 or 5. And so, you know, I think it's a great idea. But I'm terribly concerned about the Starbucks. And if you can just imagine, no drive-through, no removed parking. And I picture people coming both ways on Main Street and stopping, someone running in, and this traffic issue will be a huge problem. You don't have to,
No.
just.
I do want to say I appreciate the efforts of the planning board and the historic preservation.
Mhm.
And, you know, they did a good job.
Yep.
With the constraints they have.
In another whole venue, is does the person who owns the church? Okay.
Yes, I think we can. At this point, it is 8:43. Seeing that there's no one here to give further comment, I close the public hearing. Thank you, everyone, for attending.